What is up? My name's Ty. I like anything with a throttle and some things without, and on this video I'm so stoked to be unveiling the newest vehicle in my fleet, so stay tuned. If you've been following me at all and you've seen me do any work in my garage, you'll see it's always a wreck and I'm always moving stuff around. It's like a big game of Tetris to fit everything in here, but last night I've done it again. I moved stuff around, and I think that this is going to be a combination or configuration, I should say, that is going to work. I've got the Via Cross over here. It's all ready to work on the steering. I've got Swallow Dog's buggy sitting right here. He's got my TJ. And I moved the bikes, and I really had to make space in here for the new addition that is much longer than anything I've had. Well, at least anything I've had in this garage in recent times. I do have my still long bed Cummins is out in the back. It's not running. That is a project for another day, but I've got to get moving on that one probably sooner than some of the others. Well, before we get to the reveal, I just got to give you my backstory of how I got into motorsports and where my passion really came from. As a kid, I grew up with an awesome family and an awesome dad and brother who wanted to adventure and do fun things. And it's all started with backpacking is probably one of the things. And I have some videos about that, and you can check my channel for some of those. Those are the non-motor related things. And so I started off going camping with my family, going backpacking, doing winter camping, all the things, snowboarding, kind of getting into the action sports thing. I never was into traditional sports at all. It was always just kind of the alternative type of stuff. Never in competition, only for recreation. But I just had an awesome childhood doing those things. We started going to Moab in the late 90s, and we started hiking there. We started doing pedal biking there, and I quickly realized that I do not like pedaling. It is terrible. I want a throttle. And we also got into motorcycles, and so we started doing that. That's really what got hold of me. Once you just drive something with a motor, and you can take your ability far beyond your physical capacity and experience things in such larger distances and shorter periods of time and just see what the world has to offer. I was hooked. So early teenager, riding motorcycles with my dad and my brother. We're doing the sand dunes, we're doing Moab, things like that. But then I turned, 15. It was time to start thinking about vehicles, getting my license, and I honestly didn't know really much about cars at that point. Up until that point, I was way into dirt biking, but I didn't really know a lot about cars. And particularly, I didn't know a lot about Jeeps. I'm living in Bountiful, Utah. That's where I grew up. There was a Jeep TJ in a parking lot on a corner that we drove by, and it looked so freaking awesome. It was a white TJ with the hood latches, and I thought that looks so aggressive and so military. Like, I got to have it. And when I was 15 years old, I got the Jeep TJ, and it was a manual, inline, 6-cylinder, 4-liter, and I learned how to drive on the hills of Bountiful in the manual transmission, which honestly wasn't a big deal because I grew up with motorcycles and the clutch, and so now it's just changing your hand to your foot, And I told this story in one of the last videos about my TJ when I kind of tell the whole backstory of the TJ. So if you wanted to see the backstory and how the evolution of the TJ, check out that video. But essentially, I was 15 years old, and before I even got my license, we took it down to Moab, and I wheeled on Gemini Bridges. Now, it's just a dirt road, okay? It's nothing fancy, but it's a very scenic trail. And even my mom was so nervous that when we're going over the shelf road, she had to be sitting in a seat that was furthest away from the cliff. So when we went one way, I was okay driving. When we went the other way, she panicked and she had to drive back. Once I had that experience in Moab, in the Jeep, it was game over. My life from then on out revolved around Jeeps and motorcycles, and it's just been a constant evolution of these things. So I have the same Jeep today. We're an iteration, who knows what number. All of you that are into Jeeps, you know what I'm talking about. It's an endless money pit, it's an endless project, and you know, you're never gonna be satisfied. It's never done. But I'm hoping that we're getting close on that. Swall Dog is working on it. He's been posting videos out there about it, so you guys can follow him and keep up on the progress. And we'll tell you all about that project over there. That's not what this video is about. I just want to tell you my backstory, where I came from, how I got into motorsports, and why I'm so excited for this reveal today. Because this is going straight back to my roots, where the passion of motorsports and jeeping took hold in my life and has never let go. So without further ado, I give you the newest vehicle in my fleet. The Jeep Gladiator. I am so stoked for this. I've been thinking about these things for like 3 years. We've been test driving all sorts of stuff, seeing if it's the right thing, going back and forth, back and forth. Finally, me and my wife agreed this is the best option for us, and we're so excited. This is gonna change our lives, change our adventures. It's amazing. I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless.
I was actually the first one who wanted to get this Jeep, so you're welcome.
So I know the Gladiator's old news for most people, but I'm still so stoked. It checks so many boxes for us. I mean, this is seriously going to change how my family adventures. And, you know, there's no perfect vehicle out there. You give and take. You know, if you want a truck to do real truck things, yeah, this isn't it. If you want a daily driver that is better on the street, doesn't have as much sway, yeah, this isn't it. But this is utility. This is a Jeep. This literally does it all. It's not gonna do it as amazing as any specialized vehicle would, which is why I still have the buggy and we're not getting rid of that. And it's gonna be the rock crawler still. This is the family adventure rig and I'm so stoked. Well, let's take a closer look at this. This is the Rubicon. So it's got the front and rear lockers. It's got the ventilated hood. This thing is loaded. It has got the leather seats. And for a Jeep to have this much tech is actually pretty cool. You have the back seats for the kids. Actually pretty roomy back here too. If it's sitting in here, you know, I'm 5'9", and I'm actually kind of slouching, you know, a little bit, and I still have leg room if I'm sitting up my back against the wall. And this is at my driving position, so some may sit further back, but gives you an idea of legroom, pretty good. And it does have the, you know, middle armrest, power port down here, USB, all the things. The classic sound bar from the Jeeps. I mean, this is not like the TJ. This is so much more refined than the TJ, but I mean, it even has a headliner. It was crazy. And these like the top here, the front half will come off separately, and then you can take the back roof off, you can take the doors off. I should also mention I did the 3.6 liter Pentastar motor in this, so it's not the diesel, but I've heard there's been a lot of problems with the diesel. I wanted to go with something tried and true, plus it is more affordable engine too. So here's the front and rear locker switch, the sway bar disconnect. You got the manual gear selector, which is classic to a Jeep, but you got the 2 high, 4 auto, you got a 4 part time, and then you can kick it into 4 low. It's got push button start. The dash really is the best Jeep dash they've ever come out with. Really has that feel of the older CJs, classic Jeeps. And I've got to say, the JT grills and the JL grills with the homage of the headlights coming into the grill like this, like the old CJs, amazing. But when they came out with the JKs, I was never just sold on it. Everyone was all about JK, 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 and I just never liked the grill. I never liked the side, the fender. You know, they've just added the little bit of style here. It just has the classic looking grill like the CJ and the TJ, and I just love it. So there are gonna be build plans for this as we go, but we still gotta finish the TJ. I'm not abandoning that project. This is gonna be a little bit slower, right? My wife's driving this as her daily, and so we're just kind of gonna build this one up over time. Hopefully kind of going down the route of an overland just for camping and exploring, flat towing potentially behind the RV to simplify the trailer situation. So that's kind of our plan. I'll keep you up to date as this project evolves, but I'm so excited. If this is fun to see the new project, if you're stoked to see what we do with this in the future, give it a thumbs up, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to get notified of all future videos, and until next time, fuel your passion. And here she is, in her natural habitat.